MudRFunR here. Today I'm working on a 2000 Grand Am. It's been having some overheating issues and it's starting to bubble over again now. I've only had it running here for a short little time. This is a 3400 Ram Air. It's seen its better days, obviously. And the way it's boiling out of there, I mean, the car has not ran for very long. I'm thinking that the thermostat is stuck and it's not circulating the water through. I'm going to check into the thermostat and see if I can get rid of that bubbling. And inside the car, the temperature is still pretty good, but if you look out there, it's boiling over good. I've never actually changed the thermostat on one of these before. This is the housing back underneath here, so what I'm going to attempt to do is take this hose and the top of the filter off here, and I got a few tools that I thought I might need just gathered up here, and got a drain pan, big screwdriver, a flat one or a star for the air filter, 5/16 for a clamp or a medium-sized screwdriver, a pair of pliers, small screwdriver to take off the wire clips, and this here for the actual housing, and that there as well. This here I'm going to use to take off this one line right here, and that fitting right there was giving me a hard time, so I tried loosening it already, but the line just wanted to turn with, so give it a little shot of double X penetrant. Normally I'd drain the rad all the way, but this car has been pouring out like crazy for the last while, and it's just got water in it, and so I'm not even going to drain the rad. I'm just going to put this pan under the car and let the water run where it may. I don't think I'm going to lose too much anyway. I'm just going to pull that hose off first right there. I'm just using some channel lock pliers on this. I find they work about the best. Just slide that back. The drain pan is catching most of it. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the hose off right here, and that's going to have to come off. Just careful with it, it's not too flexible. And just going to get in behind the clip there and pull this out. And then there's another wire back here. Just need to lift up on that clip and push it out. Did that one with my fingers, it worked better. And then the two screws that are here. Might as well change your filter if you got a new one. One more attempt at taking this line off here, and if you notice that it just wants to twist, then you're probably better off trying to get it off over here, which I think I'm going to do. Just going to remove it over there at the hose end of it. And the owner's here now. So we'll continue this. Okay, I didn't want to break anything on that fitting there. It's not coming loose too well, so I just unhooked it from here and took that clamp off there. Hopefully I can pull that out far enough that I can get at the thermostat still. It's just ridiculous the way they built this.
Yep.
Okay, I've already got the thermostat in place there. I just wanted to recap and go back to some stuff that I missed here. I didn't get this on video. What we ended up doing was taking this whole entire line off right here. Means taking off these two hoses here, and there's a nut that goes on the bracket. There's the two hoses, and then this is the bracket. Just had to remove that nut right there. That's a 13 mil. And then in the back here, this part here, it's just put on with a rubber hose with a clamp. So what I did was took out this bolt right here. That's a 8mm, and this part here has an O-ring on it, and it sits down inside of there, so you're gonna have to just kind of wiggle it out of there after you get the bolt out. And then once you get that out, then remove this clamp and pull that hose off. And I marked the 3 plug wires that are on this side and took them off. Had to remove this clip from here, and there's another clip right there that holds the wires down, and they're held in place by this bolt right here, and it goes in this hole. That's a 10mm head. So we removed all that and just tossed all the wires aside into the back. The double X penetrant got that off for me, and I was able to get this entire line off. Can't really wiggle that housing out without removing this line, so that's a must. And I ended up just pulling this out of the way here just to get this line out from underneath there. And it's all ready to go back in now. I would recommend putting some white grease around that O-ring or in the housing, or both, and put a little bit inside the hose there. It'll help it slip into place. Same with this hose, put a little bit in there, and on the other ones as well. Okay, got the new thermostat in place there. Just make sure it doesn't fall out of there. It's so easy to bump that. I could have maybe put a little drop of silicone on there just to hold it in place. What a pain to get at. Yeah. Now it's stuck again. There we go. I'm going to put something on here so that it stays in place there.
Alright.
Okay, I just put a little silicone around the seal, tiny little bit, just to hold it in place here so that it's not going to slip out. Oh, that's much better. There's a certain way that it slipped out from the top down. It's in. One bolt anyway. Wow.
Hard to get in.
Hard to get your fingers on it. Okay, I got it in there. Okay, I'm holding this thing up against there. Can you look from this way here and just tell me if it's sitting flat? Like, is it sitting flat, or is there a gap in between there?
There's a bit of a gap yet.
How big?
Just a tiny one.
When you tighten it up, you'll be able to tell if it slipped out of place or not. Because if the bolts are getting tight and there's still a gap there, then it's moved. Got my bolts all snugged up, and I just want to make sure there's no gap in between that housing. Because if there is too big of a gap, then you know that your thermostat slipped out of place. And this one actually looks good. Once I tighten it up, it should close it up. Okay, I'm going to try and put that back into place. The part has to go behind here first. Got it. Just make sure it's not hooked around any wires or anything when you push it back in there. Put over the dipstick, back into the corner there. So since you got it this far apart, you might as well clean out the throttle body, and you can watch my video called How to Quick Clean a Throttle Body. It's gonna have a link right here for you. Yeah, so you have put white grease on there now.
Slide right in now?
Yeah, because that'll help protect the O-ring. And then if you put it in there all... Whoops, I think we need to put this on first.
Do you have the screw for it?
Yeah, I had it there.
Alright.
Okay, and then we're going to slip that back in. Is this all going to go back in place? Before we tighten anything down, I just want to make sure that all the rest of them are going to go in. That one, can you get that one in?
Yeah.
Okay, is that...
Then this just goes on top of that, right?
That... Is that clip going on top of where that bolt is there?
If I lift it more. Alright, there we go.
Okay, so that's in place?
Yeah.
Can you get the nut started on there then? The hoses are staying in place there?
Yeah, they're in.
Okay, so it just has to be
Bolted on right there.
bolted in there, and this is the other one. So I'm just going to slip this end in first over here while Brian tightens up the bracket over there, and slip that back into place and get this started back in. And you might not be able to do this without a line wrench, so just keep that in mind. Okay, all the clamps go back on everywhere, every hose. Guess I could. So that's all the clamps. You got those two, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And that nut is tight or no?
Yeah, it's tight.
This one here is a 10 mil. Do you want to take that one? This bolt right here.
10 mil.
I had one there, small one. Oh, and then this hose can go on too. Right there. Got the throttle body all cleaned up, and we're going to blow all the dirt out of this air intake at the bottom where the filter goes in. It's got a whole bunch of dirt in it, so you don't want to get this all dirty again. Make sure you plug that up. So if your air filter is too far gone, then replace it, and if you want to, just do what we did and blew it out with the air hose and take that back out and just replace the top back on again. I also put a little bit of white grease on the hose here just so it'll slip in a little bit better and keep that from corroding. Clip the other end in and tighten these screws back down. And tighten that clamp up. Slip that hose back in. I like to use a little bit of dielectric grease in all the wiring connections. Put a little bit in each one. Clip that down again. Okay, add some water and good to go. We're just going to test this with water first, and if this is going to work, then we'll add some antifreeze to it another time, but we're going to try it with water first. Alright, just going to let the garden hose run there until it starts to flow over, and then I'll start the car up.